Hi guys, my name is Janet Miller-Monfils, and I'm a founder in the company of Monat, which stands for Modern Nature. So I decided that I was going to make these videos mostly for my team, but if you've stumbled upon them, the information is yours to have as well. So the cool thing about Monat and why one of the many reasons I love it is that it's a botanically based anti-aging hair care system, and it's the first of its kind. And one of the other things is that it's made in an FDA approved facility. So you can think, well, you know what? It's shampoo, so it's not going to be FDA approved. And you're right, because the FDA is the Food and Drug Administration. So you're not ingesting Monat. But the thing is, you could, but also no. The thing is that it just means that the plant that the product is made in is so incredibly clean that it has passed the rigorous standards that the FDA has put upon the food and drug industry. So I'm going to start a little bit by describing the different products. And the first one is the volume line. So it's a little backwards. This is my website, fullthickhairloss.com. So this one I use most of the time. This is actually me. And what I like to say is that this one helps to define your curls. It helps to give a little bit of volume if you have straight hair, etc. You might think, well, Janet, you have really curly hair, so why would you need to have the volume system? And it's not necessarily for volume. For me, it's helped to define my curls. And also you can see with just after one wash, it really helps to increase the anchoring of the hair follicles so that you keep more of your hair. So that's one of my favorite. And then the other main system is our balance line. This is the one I really think of if you have done some really bad damage to your hair. So you can see that this woman has done like some bleaching in her hair, etc. So it's a little bit damaged. And so we would suggest her using the balance line to help really repair that, okay? You can also see some different pictures here, especially with ethnic hair after doing a lot of the straightening treatments. And, you know, it's as harsh on your hair as a perm would be. And so you can really fry your hair if you're not careful. So the balance system, especially the mask, is really going to help to repair that damage. The Monat Men's 2-in-1 system. So I really wish that they would have renamed it because it's not just for men. We have just as many, if not more, women users. So you can see over here that this is a woman, and just in a couple weeks, this is 2 weeks, this is before and after, you can see the dramatic differences. This was only in about 6 to 8 weeks. So you can see that he went from not having very many hairs at all to having a full head of hair. So that's awesome. And the really cool thing about our products is that it has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what does that mean? You can buy the system and you can use it for 29 days and say, you know what, this really isn't working for me and I want to return it and get your full money back. So, I mean, what are you waiting for? What can you lose? The other fun thing is our Rejuvenique. This is our signature oil, and it's a blend of natural botanical oils. And the thing I really like about this is it's sustainable. So it's not from like the Amazon where we're clear cutting forests and doing all these things to make our product. This is actually like sustainable oils. So you can see that it's going to help reduce the frizz and it's going to help your hair lay down more flat. And then also this here is for our salon owners and anyone that colors your hair. Now I know I'm due for highlights and an all over color. So I'm going to definitely be taking this to my salon. But if you put 3 drops, maybe 4 into your color right before you apply it for your hair, what you'll see is you're going to have more intense and beautiful color that's going to last longer. Okay, so the main purpose of this this video is to have an effective approach to actually approach a client. Okay, so we are not a home-based party company, but obviously you can do that. I've done some wine and washes and, sip and shares, and those work really well. But a lot of us don't have time or we forget to show up to those meetings. And so what you can do is you can approach people on Facebook or email, and, you can contact former friends, friends that you're current or, just anything. And so this is actually an effective approach that was made by one of my teammates, but I've changed it a little bit, and so I'm just gonna say it to you. Okay, so this approach has been shown to be 100% effective in getting people on your list to agree to look at your business. Okay, so look doesn't necessarily mean signing up, but that's okay because for every 100 yeses or 100 no's, you might get 10 yeses. Okay, or regardless, you have to get the word out there. And then honestly, the first time they hear it, they're like, whatever. Second time's like, oh, that kind of looks familiar. Third time, they're like, yeah, hey, I kind of remember something about that. Tell me more. So you kind of have to keep going, but don't be annoying in your approach. So first of all, you have to internalize the conversation. Okay, so like, yeah, I have this all written out, right? But I'm not going to give it to you, because then what's going to happen is you're going to sit there and you're going to read off it. Okay, and you're not going to internalize, or I'm sorry, yeah, internalize the conversation. You're not going to say, hey, I really want to tell you about my product because I think this could help you in this situation. Okay, what you do if you have a script is you tend to read off it and check off, and that's great, but to really reach out to that person, you need to make it personable. Okay, and it's the same thing with you. I mean, when you get an email and it's just like, hey, you and a million other people are invited to this thing, are you really going to take it seriously? Probably not, because it wasn't to you, Janet Miller-Monfils. Okay, so make sure that you use your personality. Make this conversation your own. Okay, don't just make sure that you leave the key points in there and stuff like that. Okay, and the other thing is, don't sell. Okay, don't try to recruit right off the bat. What you're going to do is you're going to share. You're going to share this opportunity. So the only goal that you have when you reach out to these people is to make a phone call and set an appointment for step number 2. Okay, so then you can get those wheels turning in their brain. Okay, so don't right off the bat ask them to join your business. Don't say, oh my God, you need to join because of X, Y, and Z. Because I know with me, my upline, LaJoy, she was fantastic. She didn't do that, okay? If she would have tried to sell me this business right off the bat, I would have probably said, okay, you're too, no. Okay, so what she did is she just shared. And when I asked her, she shared information about the opportunity and the financial ability that you can do in this market, etc. Okay, so just make sure that you know that your overall goal is just to make an appointment to get them to look at your business. And then the system is so amazing, it's going to take care of the rest of your conversation. Okay, so how are you going to start these conversations? Again, you can start these on, Facebook or whatever, but your sole intent is to actually make an appointment with them. Okay, so you can talk on the phone or face-to-face or whatever. And another thing is, don't always be in your town. Okay, so many of you, and I started out this way too until LaJoy beat me over the head with a baseball bat. Just kidding. Think outside the box. So I live in Michigan. I live in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. Okay, I'm about 30 minutes from Big Rapids, which is a small town. The next biggest town is like Grand Rapids. It's an hour away. Okay, most of my customers and most of my teammates are from like out east. Okay, so make sure that you think outside the box. Pick up a phone book. Go to the white pages. Look for salons. Look for community events, things like that. And just make sure that you just think outside that box. Okay, so how can you start this conversation? Well, you can say, hi, Janet, do you have a minute to talk? And then you wait for them to respond, and you'll be like, great, I'm calling because I need a huge favor. But don't worry, it's not going to cost you any money. But I was really hoping that you could help me out. I wanted you to know that I'm helping to launch a hair care company right here in Central Michigan. And have you heard about this product yet, Monat? Well, it's really amazing. Okay, and so what you just did there is you told them a little bit of an overview, and then you're asking them a question to get them involved. Okay, I've been involved in a lot of three-way chats with my members that are underneath me, and I love doing three-way chats. But one of the biggest mistakes that I see from my downline is that they'll make a statement, but they don't ask a question. And so it doesn't force engagement from the recipient, okay? So if you say, hi, how are you doing? Are you having a good day? What did you do today? That invites them for a conversation. Okay, have you heard about Monat? What have you heard about it? What can I tell you about? So you're asking them and you're getting them involved in the conversation. Okay, and so then you can tell a little bit about yourself. Say, let me tell you why I'm doing this. And, share your personal reason why. So me personally, I was a college professor, okay? I still teach, right? But I was working for medical school. The drama was way too much. I decided it wasn't healthy for me long-term to be there. And you know what? I was better than like how I was being treated. So I quit, okay? I quit because I didn't want to be there long-term. I wasn't happy with how my job was going, etc. And I also wanted to be my own boss, okay? I come from a family of business owners, and it's a lot of work to do it. So don't say that it's going to be easy to be your own boss. But, I wanted to be able to make my own hours. I wanted to be able to, do my own things. I wanted to be able to go to my stepdaughter's track meets. There's one tomorrow morning up in Cadillac. It's an hour away. Guess who's going to be there rooting her on? That's me. And guess what? You can also use it for an opportunity to share. Okay, but basically, I wanted to be in charge of my own financial freedom. And, there's what's the saying? It's like a 40-hour plan. And it's like you work 40 hours for somebody else, and then you're still in the lower 40% of income or something. I'll have to find it, but obviously I can't right now because I'm talking to you. Okay, so anyway, tell them your personal reason. Everyone's reason is going to be different. You might be a single mom. You might be, on medical leave or something like that. Okay, so make sure that you understand, you explain what your reason was, and then also explain that Monat can actually help you get there. Okay, so that's really cool. So some examples could be, you want freedom of working at home. You can put your kids through college. You can help prepare for your retirement. You can get a better quality of life. You can have residual income, etc. Be specific. Don't just glass over and be like, oh yeah, I wanted to try it. Well, why did you want to try it? What are your, things? Okay, and then you go to the favor. Okay, so then you say, okay, here's the reason why I'm calling, or I'm asking for a call or whatever. I'm asking for a personal favor. And it would really mean a lot to me if you would take a look at my new business and give me your honest opinion of it without any obligation. And so then you say, here are the reasons why I'm asking you the favor. First of all, if you like what you see, and it's possible for us, to make some decent money by introducing this to our local market, would that be okay with you? So you're not recruiting them, but you're opening that box in their mind to say, hey, well, extra money would be good. So there's things like that, okay? And then you can say, again, don't push the sale on them. Say, if you aren't interested in working with me in this business, that's okay too. But I am hoping for your support from time to time for referring people to me. Okay, so there are people that I know that, they maybe didn't think that they could afford the product. Okay, I gave them samples. They absolutely love it, but they haven't seen that they can afford the product. But you know what? They've helped recruit like 20 people because they're like, wow, I tried this. And it would be really good for you. I mean, I have a friend and she keeps coming to me and she's just like, oh, I love the product and I know that so-and-so would use it. Do you have a sample I can give them? Well, of course I do. So, you're opening that train of thought for them that, that they can support you. Okay, but then you can also add on, but to do that effectively, to support me effectively, you need to know what I'm doing. And more importantly, I would never ask you to endorse something that you weren't comfortable with. So ask them, does that make sense? So obviously you're going to want to have them give an honest opinion. So, I've had a few salons that have used it themselves. And they're like, I can't sell this without, believing in the product. I'm like, well, absolutely. I wouldn't either. I quit my job based on this product because I believed in it so much. And so, you give them a sample try and then they say, oh my God, the first use, it's so different. I've gotten so many compliments on my hair, etc. So, you have to make sure that this person's going to be comfortable. Right. And then you can say the third reason, and maybe the most important, let's assume that you're not interested and you don't even ever want to refer someone. Obviously, you have to, tell them that you're not going to be upset with them and that you won't bring it up again. But but you can also say, just be prepared that I'm not going to be the only person that's going to be asking you about this company because, as you know, Monat just launched October 1st of 2014. So it's less than a year old. And we're already taking over the industry by storm. So that they're going to be hearing this from somebody else. So, you can say, I know that somebody else is going to contact you. And I don't really want to see you end up joining somebody else's, team because I failed to show you the potential. So no matter if you like the concept or not, I'm just asking you to say yes or no to me and not somebody else. So, I mean, that's, if you do it wrong, it could be a little pushy. So make sure to not push it. But I mean, basically, you're just asking them like, I showed you this opportunity first. I really think it's awesome. If you decide that right now is not good, that's okay. But, if you do decide in the future, just come back to me. And most people will respect that. Okay. So then again, the last thing you're going to say is, as a personal favor to me, would you evaluate my new business and give me some feedback? So again, you can, talk about sending samples, etc. Okay. So then you wait for their response. You get back to them. And you say, great, would you be able to take a few minutes right now? I just need you for less than 10 minutes, and we can listen to a short recording or watch a video together that explains the opportunity. But I also want you to plan to set aside a few minutes afterwards so that you can give me your thoughts. And I really want to stress to you that I want to hear your personal, honest to goodness feedback, okay? Your evaluation. And your honest feedback is important to me. Okay. If they say, no, this time doesn't work for me, suggest an alternate time, okay? You need to not leave open ends, okay? Does that make sense? So, I have some people that, where I failed. I mean, I'm learning a lot as I'm doing this too. And it's like, yeah, I'll call you next week. Well, when next week? How about 10 o'clock on Tuesday? Does that work for you? So make sure that you give them a solid time so that they can put it in their calendar and make it a real appointment instead of something that they can just blow off, okay? So you can also, say that you're going to have a few, opportunity calls that you can invite them to, etc. Okay. But you have to remember that the most effective presentation is the one that you can get your prospect to view as quick as possible. Okay. So I know that this is probably going to be a 20-minute long video. It's long for you guys, but this is a training video. Okay. So that's the purpose. If I was just going to do an opportunity thing, do it so that they can, look at it on their way. They're waiting for a cup of Starbucks at the Starbucks line, or, waiting in the school pickup line to pick up their kids. You have to make it quick and concise because, people are going to look at this video and say, oh my God, it's 20 minutes long. I'm not going to look at it because, I'll get to it later. And I'm very guilty of that, as LaJoy will tell you. I haven't been the most modeled person, but I'm learning. Okay. So, then actually make sure that you have confirmation after the time is established. Say, okay, great. I'm going to write that down on my calendar so that I don't forget to use a planner or calendar. Great. Just so that we did not get our wires crossed, would you please do the same and write it down the day and time? Okay. So it's the same thing as like a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment. Okay. And, you can also add if you want to. I only ask you to do this because I'm really serious about a meeting. And if you can't make it for some reason, that's okay, but I want you to call and reschedule. Okay. I have a limited amount of time to make these appointments and I can't afford to waste one, which, it's true. One of my biggest pet peeves is when, people make an appointment and then they blow it off. Okay. And then the next step is to explain how they're going to hear that info. You either have an audio version or a video version. Okay. There's a lot of links in the team retirement page, or that I've posted in our message group, etc. And those are great. But one thing that I learned about this is do it with them. Okay. So if you do a 3-way call and say, hey, I want to share this opportunity with you. How about we do it at 8 o'clock on Tuesday after the kids are asleep or after dinner, before they're asleep, whatever, call me and I'll patch you into this 3-way call. We can listen to it together. And I never really thought of that. I've just been giving people the number for them to call. Okay. But what you do by then is you defer it on to them, first of all, to follow through. But second of all, if they have a question, then they have to wait for and remember to either contact you or wait for you to contact them. So if you do it, or else, and you do the phone call, have them call you, then you call in and enter the key code, and then you can listen to it together. Okay, they're usually 3 to 5 minute phone calls, introduction, and then you can talk to it afterwards. And again, the same you can do a video conference thing, right? And watch the video together. So that was something that I learned that I'm going to start implementing. And then the next one would be to get their evaluation. So after the actual video or the phone call has ended, say, now you can see why I'm so excited, okay? So all those training, recruiting videos, opportunity videos, my gosh, they get me geeked to join again. And I've been here and I'm a founder in the company, okay? But I still get so excited every single time that I hear them. Okay, so, ask them to, if they have any questions, and ask them if they can see why you're so excited. And then, have them write down any other questions that they might have, and then answer the questions. And once you answer all of them, continue with, I'll provide you with 100% of the information to make sure that all your questions are answered. Okay, so if you then get stumped up, that's where I get involved, or LaJoy gets involved, or your upline, or whomever is your upline in your company, okay? So you can say, wow, Sally, that's a really good question. And, I can't think of the answer because I'm relatively new, but I know my upline can help us find that answer. So would you mind doing a 3-way chat with us? So then you can get us either in, again, Messenger, or, 3-way phone call or whatever, so that we can help answer those questions as well. Okay, we all learn. We're still learning. I know that my upline, LaJoy, she still watches and studies the documents, daily. So we're always, it's our job to learn. So we can always find the answer too. And so say, the other thing is by getting an upline involved, I've been in the company since October, so that's what, 10 months. Okay, so I know more about the company than somebody that just joined a month ago or 2 months ago. Okay, so we have the experience, we've seen the paychecks, we've gone to regional conferences. I've already won a trip where I had an upgrade to a suite on a cruise. So it was an expenses paid trip because I did well in the company. Okay, so I can tell you about things like that. I can tell you about the bonuses. I can tell you about the benefits. I won a trip to Cabo, and that's this fall. So I have the experience, so I can help you by telling you those things that you may not have experienced yet because you're new in the company. Okay, and then make sure you can set a live three-way call with your upline, etc. And then again, use the same thing where you're going to want to set it as a calendar appointment, because my downline, I mean, there's what, 200 people in my downline, and so I will make time for all of you guys. But if 200 people say I want to have a meeting with you, and you schedule 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, and this person blows you off and that person blows you off, then you're sitting there and you're just like, so just really be respectful of everyone's time. So that is one way that has been really effective in approaching new clientele. And the thing with Monat, it's a sample-based company. It's sharing. Once people really they try the product, they fall in love with it, and it really does sell themselves. But those are some tips to try to get some people involved and to really go the distance. All right. If you have any questions, you can email me at monfilsjanet@gmail.com. It's monfilsjanet@gmail.com. Or you can go to my website, which is fullthickhairloss.com. Okay, so again, it's backwards. I know that. fullthickhairloss.com. And it'll take you to my Monat page, and you can email me through there. So hopefully this has been helpful. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me about anything, and go out there and, get your 100 contacts, get your 90 no's and your 10 yeses. Okay. So there's another thing I'm going to look at. My husband just texted me. Sorry, I'm laughing. There is basically this thing that I put on Facebook, right? There is no secret. I simply shared the plan to 1,200 people. 900 said no, and only 300 said signed up. Okay, I'm trying to read it backwards. Sorry. Out of those 300, only 85 did anything at all. Out of those 85, only 35 were serious about the business, and of those 35, 11 of them made me a millionaire. Okay, so that's the same kind of thing. Okay, you're gonna get a lot of no's. Don't get discouraged. I got a lot of no's. I still get a lot of no's, and I'm a founder in the company. Okay, this is my job, and I have to get used to getting those no's. But don't get discouraged. It's not going to be for everyone, and it only takes a few in the good bunch to make a difference. Okay, so get out there and share the information. Get passionate about it. Watch those training videos. And like I said, reach out to me or your upline or whatever if you have any questions. All right. Hopefully this helped, and I'll see you guys all later. I'm hoping to do a shorter video every day. Okay. Talk to you later.